All right, y'all. I'm back on again this afternoon. Happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. God bless you. Happy Friday to you. Let's see where I want to start at. I know I said I was going to come back on and get back off into a deep what we got off into earlier this morning. If you missed it, you missed a treat. If you haven't missed the series, you've been missing a treat. You've been missing learning. You've been missing wisdom. All right, you've been missing your learning experience. But I think what I'm gonna do is continue it on tomorrow. I'll be a little more fresher because I've been doing some things, running and working and going on. So, but I am going to get off into this book. You know, we're reading this now, Lisa Live Ministry. And the book is a little small book. It's simple. How to deal with toxic people. So we're going to get off into this because we'll find out there's so many toxic people in the world. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere, you know. So it's just not one place or one spot. It is everywhere. You meet and greet people, talk to people all the time. And so we want to get busy into this and read this little small book and see what it says in reference to talk to people. All right. So I'm going to try to finish this up. I won't finish the whole book up today. All right. But piece by piece, little by little, we'll finish this book up. All right. Okay. So today we're in chapter 1 of the book. I think when I got it, I read the other day, we was doing the introduction. But we're in chapter 1 of the book. And it says that it's the many types of toxic people. So there are many types of toxic people. So let's read the book and see what it says. Okay. Miracle. Yes. Can you turn these other lights on for me, please? It says, your boss takes full credit for a proposal you labor over for weeks, and that represent your finest work. All right. So even you can have bosses on your jobs, you know, that can be toxic. You know, thank God I don't have one, praise God, but I have experienced some years and down, you know, the road I've experienced toxic bosses, you know. But like I say, I don't have one now. So I'm grateful for that. Praise God. But it says your bosses take full credit for a proposal you're labored over for weeks, and that represent your finest work. Your spouse belittles you in public, humiliating and infuriating you again. All right. So even you can have a spouse that can be toxic. All right. But let's go back to the boss a little bit. Then I talk about the spouse. Right now, I have a friend, and she's a pretty good friend. And she has been dealing with a toxic boss. And it's bad and I know that she knows her work. And she's very good, has very good, brilliant work ethics. But it's not her. It's the boss that's giving her the problem. So, you know, and when you see things happen like that, you got to know that it's the work of the enemy. It is the work of the adversary. It is the work of the devil. You know, when you know that you know your job, and you know that you know your work, and you know that you know what you're doing, and then somebody comes in and try to disturb you. You know, any kind of way somebody can disturb your peace, then they'll try to disturb it. Even at work, they'll try to disturb your peace on the job, you know, because they know that's the way you make your living. They know that. And they know that you enjoy what you're doing. And all you want to do is do your work, be peaceful with it, take care of people or whatever you're doing, and go home, you know. And it's a routine that you're doing, but yet still, you got toxic people even on the job sites, you know. And like I said, I'm talking about a friend of mine that, you know, going through, and it's stress. It's very stressful, and we have to watch the stress level because it can mess with our health. All right. The next one says your spouse belittles you in public. How many times have you went somewhere in public and you saw, you know, a husband or wife, you know, and one of them was really, you know, maybe cursing them out or calling them out their names or dragging them out by their hair or just humiliating them in public. You know, that should never be. That should never be. Humiliating and infuriating you again. Your neighbor covers for your teenager who has a runaway in the law because she knew you would overreact. All right, it says your neighbor covers for your teenager who had a run in with the law because she knew you would overreact. Your mother calls to offer support, but leaves you feeling criticized and controlled instead. Your friends post flattering photos of you on social media because they're funny. Not funny to you though. So it's just a lot of things that is toxic, and it's a lot of things that people do. And they just, I don't know if they don't realize what they're doing, or if they do realize what they're doing, they just don't care. But we got to know, it goes back to the golden rule: do unto others as you have them to do unto you. But toxic people don't think like that. They don't read into it like that. They don't see things the way a normal person would see things. And that's why they say that they're toxic. But even something is triggering them to do this. All right. Do any of these scenarios sounds familiar to you? If so, you are in the grips of a toxic person. Call them by any other names: crazy makers, troublemakers, instigators. These people know how to poison situations and relationships, stirring up discord and disarray. See, people like this, they have bad seeds in them because they're stirring up discord seeds, and they are toxic people, they are crazy makers. I always got something crazy to say, crazy to do. They are also troublemakers, stirring up trouble, stirring up confusion. They don't want no peace. They don't even know how to have peace. They don't even know how to love, to be real. They're instigators, always reading off into something. It might not even must be what they think it is, but they're always reading off into something, just trying to stir up strife, stir up envy, stir up confusion, stir up, they're in that stirring up game, just stirring up. And they ain't stirring up the gift either. They stirring up all kinds of poison, discord, that's what they're stirring up. So it says, call them by any other name: crazy makers, troublemakers, instigators. These people know how to poison situations and relationships, stirring up discord and disarray. All right. Toxic people come in a wide variety of forms and degrees of severity. Some are mildly irritating, while others are extremely abusive. It will be impossible to describe all types of toxic people, but let us look at the most common among them. You will surely recognize qualities and behaviors that you have, unfortunately, encounters in your own life. Number one, toxic people are the deceivers. They are the ones that love to deceive. Watch them. Listen to them. Observe them and watch how they deceive. Toxic people are very deceivers. All right. And this is how they start deceiving. Number one, they lies. Lies destroys a critical component of any relationship. And so toxic people love telling the lies. They tell lies just for the hell of it. They tell lies just by looking at you. They'll tell a lie in you, through you, and about you, and knowing that they're lying. They'll lie until they piss all over themselves. I'm being real, but they're liars. They are a deceiver. They act like they don't know the truth. The truth disturbs them. The truth irritates them. See, this is toxic. So the deceiver, the lies destroys a critical component of any relationship. All right. So lies destroys the relationship. Lies destroys trust. And once you catch a whiff of deceit in the air, look out. Sure, it could be an isolated incident or a half of a truth that might be forgiven and forgotten. But usually it's a sign of trouble. A person needs to lie. A person needs to lie is a telling clue about his own character and emotional health. So when you get with somebody and you see that they easily to lie, and they're a deceiver, and they just love to lie, and they're always telling lies, then it's just showing them and telling you how their character is. All right, they have a lying character, and how their emotional health is. All right, it may be an indicator of seriously insecurity, lack of integrity, flimsy moral standards. If dishonesty show up in a relationship once, it will likely show up again. Here's a sovereign fact of life. If someone is willing to lie to you once, he or she is likely to do it again. People willing to lie in one situation or with one person will find it easily to lie in other contexts. A person who shades the truth with others will be inclined to be dishonest with you as well. And this is so true. This is so true. It comes down to the point now it's kind of hard to trust people. Because when you go to them for honesty. And they going to find a way to lie, hold back on the truth, and tell you and show you dishonesty. I recently experienced that not too long ago. I went to experience it not too long ago. And everything they said, it was a lie. But the Lord still blessed me, though. He still blessed me. All right. A lie rarely appeared out of somewhere. It's part of a larger deception context. If someone is dishonest, you will naturally wonder about the ulterior motive. If you feel close out to a certain aspect of a person's life, you have to wonder what's behind those still off areas. Secrets arouse suspiciously, and often for good reasons. A person who tells lies must work hard to keep track of what he has said and to whom he has said it to, or what she has said and to whom she has said it to. So when the details of a story don't add up or keep changing over time, it may be a sign that you are not getting the straight scope, the truth. So here's the truth about deceivers. They create mistrust, chaos, and uncertainty. If someone is willing to lie to you once, he or she is likely to do it again. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. And that's Luke 16:10. So the Bible, this book is biblical. It follows with scriptures. All right. All right. So we talked about the deceiver. That was number one. Now let's talk about the control freak. The control freak. The control freak is also toxic. So when you hear the words control freak, you probably have the image of a specific person popped into your mind. A parent, a boss, a roommate, a spouse, or a friend. Whoever's in your life, you bear the burden of someone who is uptight, judgmental, and invasive. These are the people who meddle in your business, tell you how to do things, hold you to impossible standards. They are quick to point out your shortcomings and always have the right answer, allegedly. They always want to win the argument and have the last word. They know what's best for you and how you should do things differently. Here are a few primary characteristics of those controllers. Number one, even if you give the controller what he wants to make him happy, that doesn't mean the bossy behavior will subdue. Playing along to get the person off your back rarely works. And that's what a lot of people do. They play along to get along. And yet and still, they'll find themselves in a pin predicament every time. Because that's not going to work. They're going to want you to keep it going and keep it up. And they're going to keep on giving you hell. It's going to be more hell and more hell and more hell to bear. To keep on doing it that way. So the best thing is don't even start it. Because if you start it, you're going to have to keep it up just to try to get along with them. Until you either get burnt out or die out. Because they'll kill you. I ain't lying. They'll kill you with stress. They'll antagonize you until you just give up. You just be in so much despair. So that's why you're going to have to make up in your mind, baby. I ain't going to keep on. You got to tell them. Just show them. All right, number two. The controller person may like you or praise you for doing what he wants. But that's much different from respecting you. So long as you're doing what they want you to do, they fine. You know, they'll patty cake you on for what they, because you're doing what they want you to do. But the minute that you want to do what you want to do, it's a totally different story then. It's a totally different ball game. Controllers drain your energy and undermine your sense of self-worth. With them, you must take extra measures to preserve your physical and emotional energy. That's why, y'all, when you find somebody, I'm reading this book, whoever pop it on, ain't showing yourself up. You might be toxic too. But anyway, how to deal with toxic people. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about right here on Lisa Live Ministry. All right. So we're talking about the control freak. All right. And we just got through saying that controllers drains your energy and undermine your sense of self-worth. That's why I love keys in encouragement and queens empowerment, because you get caught up with toxic people, they will drain you. You know the thing? You know, you won't even have no kind of self-worth. Now, before you got with them, you know, you was about it. You was all about it. You knew your identity. You knew who you was. You had self-control. You had a brilliant mindset. You know, you took care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. But you got with them at first, you know, you know, how many times you heard people say, I got this. I'm control of this. I can handle this. But the more you get deep with these people, and see, that's their point. That's their poker point. They want to drain you. They want to stress you out. They want to disturb you. They want to humiliate you. They want you to go down to the ground, to the pit. They do. They really do. Because, see, they know they got the problem. They know they toxic. They are toxic. But they want you. They really want to do the damage to you. So when they leave you, you so damaged. Until you can't even must pick up the pieces. You done found so many people that they nerves one day until they got with somebody. And then now the person is gone and they shaking like a leaf on a tree. I'm serious. You got people that's taking all kinds of nerve pills. You know, you ever heard a person say, oh, they get on my nerves. They just bad on my nerves. They work my nerves. But as long as they gone, that's the only way they can find some peace. But when that person come in, they working their nerves like a 9 to 5. They working their nerves, baby. You have to get away from people like that. You really have to get away from people like that, because people like that drains you. You know, I remember when my mom was living, and she thought that she could handle the situation. But the situation got too much for her to bear. Because her husband was always just nagging, and always worrying or stressing her out. See, you don't want nobody to take you out of here. They didn't bring you in here, so don't let them take you out of here with worration and stress. You know, get a break from them. Get away from them. You know, they ain't worth all that no way. Don't let nobody drain your energy and undermine your self-worth. Don't let nobody undermine your self-worth. Now, you can't tell me, baby. You can't tell me who I am. You can't tell me my identity. You're not going to drain me. Because I promise you, I'm going to get rid of you. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to stop fooling with you. Because I'm not going to let you drain me. See, when God shows you that a person is toxic, they just toxic. And it is what it is. Sometimes people think when you leave them, that you are going to go down. Baby, that's the best thing you could have ever done. Because that's really when you go up. When you get them toxic people out your life. Because you can think better, you can breathe better, you can smell better, you can smell the roses. And then you can find yourself. You can go back to finding yourself. You can put the trash down. And now you can go back to finding yourself. See? So that's the best thing they could ever have done. Was to get out of your life. All right? So controllers drain your energy and undermine your sense of self-worth with them. And you must take extra measure to preserve your physical and emotional energy. Controllers want power, undue influence over you, and permission to bully you. That's why I can't stand a bully. And that's what these people want. They want power over you. They want to control you. Well, baby, you need to think like this. How can you control what you didn't have? You didn't have me. You didn't create me. So why you think I'm going to give you control over me? And some of them can't even control Nobody else. But they want to control you, though. They can't even control where they live at, but they want to control you. See, no, you can't even control your little puppet, but you want to control me? No, y'all. You're not down here to be a robot for nobody. And that means that you're not down here for somebody to control you. God can control all of us, but he don't even do it. He give you free will choice. And if he give you a free will choice, if that's good enough for me with God, that's good enough. I'm not going to let nobody control me and tell me when I can get up and when I can go to bed, when I can do this and when I can do that, who I can go see, who I can't go see, and all that mess. These folks is toxic. They got a problem. So they want that control power, undue influence over you. They want to influence you. They want you like a little robot. They match your button, tell you go this way. They match your button, tell you go that way. And all that. They want too much. And they can't even control their own selves. All right? So that's what it said. Controllers want power, undue influence over you, and permission to bully you. They want to bully you. They want you scared of them. They really want you scared of them. And anybody that wants a person scared of them, they got a problem anyway. They got a problem anyway. Ain't no Bigfoots no more. They got a problem. So when you give to them, you give up. When you give in to them, this is what, people, they give in to them. Because they say, well, you know how many people say, well, I'm just trying to keep the peace. Baby, you will never keep the peace with no toxic person up in your house. Until you get them up out your house. That's when you going to have some peace. That's why a lot of people love when people leave and be gone. Because that's when they get peace. But you have to be careful of who you invite into your home these days and time that you're living in now. Just to be able to keep your peace. So, when you give in to them, you give up peace of mind. You give up your independence and you give up your self-respect. So, even as they are engaged in toxic, controlling behaviors, they will often deny that control is their ultimate objective. Their words and behaviors are couched as wanting to be helpful or being for your own good. But rarely is their conduct actually helpful or good for you. See, they try to change the words. They try to change your mindset. All right? The next word is the gaslighting. The gaslighter. All right? The GASLIGHTER. All right? This is another type of person. The gaslighter. This person employs a form of psychological. They play that mind game on you. It's a psychological manipulation. See, it's like they mess with your mind. That's why I hate a simple-minded person. When I say I hate it, what I mean, I don't like that. I don't like a weak-minded person. I don't like nobody weak-minded because, see, weak-minded people can be controlled. The people, that's what they do. They work on your mind. That's why on Lisa Live Miss, I always tell you what, to renew your mind, renew your mind, renew your mind. Because people work on your mind. And if they can work on your mind, baby, you will be their robot. You'll be their flunky. So you can't let people work on your mind because they do it through psychological manipulation. It's called psychological manipulation. The person employs a form of psychological manipulation where he does or say things that causes you to doubt your own memory. People go around, I don't remember that. What you talking about? See, people want, I'm telling you, it's so many type of forms of toxic people around here in the times that we're living in. And this is called the gaslighter. So, the person employs a form of psychological manipulation where he does or say things, is he or she, because you got a lot of women that messing with a man's mind. I ain't lying. See, that's not love. Let me go and throw that out there. That's not love. All right? But this person employs a form of psychological manipulation where he or she does or say things that causes you to doubt your own memory, perception, or judgment. The term gaslighting comes from the 1938 play and 1944 film Gaslight, in which a husband manipulates his wife into thinking she is mentally ill by dimming their gas-fueled lights and telling her that she is hallucinating. Have anybody ever told you was hallucinating? Whether it was a woman or a man or a woman. If they tell you that you're hallucinating, you might tell them they need to go out that door somewhere. Simply pure, this manipulative person leaves you feeling that you are the crazy one. He or she will say things like, are you sure about that? Messing with your mind. Don't question me and ask me nothing I already told you about. Are you sure about that? You never have a good memory. Or I don't know where you got that idea. That can't be right. Or that's what I expect from someone so narrow-minded. See, this is how they plays the trick on your mind. See. And don't be letting people tell you you old or you too old. I don't like that either. See. But I wasn't old when I got with you. So I'm old now when you go on because somebody else showed enough will knock on my door. Come see about me. You see, you got to watch how people try to say different things to make you feel bad. And the ones that's making you try to say that make you feel, these folks talked it. They're crazy. So, through it all, this person is early, adept, and projecting a convincing aura of innocence or authority. It is as if he is a crazy making Jada, able to wave his hands and say the relationship eloquent of these aren't the draws you're looking for. You doubt what you have just seen with your own eyes. If you done seen it with your own eyes, don't go back and doubt it. It is what it is. But they want you to doubt. I'm telling you, these people, they want to control you. And see, people like that, I can't be around people like that. Because I've been told them. You're not going to control me now. No, I don't care what you say. You're not going to do that. Because I got my own mind. Praise God and thank God for the mind that he's given us. Amen. Everybody got their own mind. So stop letting people treat you like you're a robot. All right. If you try taking this person to task for any of his underhanded ways, you might find yourself wondering how you could have been so wrong and so unfair. Be aware if you are around someone and end up constantly second-guessing yourself, feeling the need to apologize, wondering if you have been so sensitive to find yourself afraid to speak up for fear of saying something wrong. Baby, there's nothing wrong that you can say to attack the people because they are wrong. Ain't nothing wrong that you can say to attack the people because they are wrong. Their name is Talk the Wrong People. The next one is the anger venter. The anger venter. ANGRYVNTR. We're talking about talk to people. The many types of talk to people it is. All right, some of them is anger. The anger venter. Some people misunderstand the role of anger in those life, relationships, and interaction with others. They believe it is wrong to feel angry and that this emotion should be avoided to suppress. But anger is, in fact, a God-given emotion, a natural and helpful response to frightening or unjust encounters. Anger can propel human beings toward noble goals, empowering us to stand up for what is right and to protect ourselves from threats of our safety. And that's what people don't want you to do. They don't want you to stand up for what you believe in. They don't want you to stand up for what is right. All right? And if you, and that's how they gaslight you. All right? And so you can't, regardless of what, you don't need no type of person in your life, no way. To be honest and to be real. And if they get mad because you stand up with what was right, then, oh well, so be it. You don't have to fool with them. You don't need them for nothing. You didn't need them from the beginning, no way. And to be honest with you, hate they ever came into your life. But that don't mean that they got to stay up in there. They ain't got to stay. Let them go. All right? So some people misunderstand the role of anger in their lives, relationships, and interaction with others. They believe it is wrong to feel angry and that this emotion should be avoided or suppressed. But anger is, in fact, a God-given emotion, a natural and helpful response to frightening or unjust encounters. Anger can propel human beings toward noble goals, empowering us to stand up for what is right and to protect ourselves from threats of our safety. The scriptures tell us, be angry and yet sin not. So yeah, you can get angry, just don't sin. Ephesians chapter 4:26. In other words, you can stand up for your right and you ain't got to keep on, and don't be arguing with them. Just say what you're going to say, do what you're going to do, and be through with it. You don't have to argue with them. Because see, they want to argue with you and stress you out. See, they want your health to fail. They want your health to fail so they can go on and go on and go anyway. Well, you don't let them make your health fail. Let them go on and go though, so you can really get what the good Lord got for you. All right. Scriptures tell us to be angry and yet do not sin. Ephesians chapter 4:26. Anger itself is not the problem, but the expression of it can be a big problem. Mismanagement of anger, feeling in the inability to control heated emotions can quickly become destructive rather than constructive. So there's a big difference between anger and aggression. Anger is a helpful psychological response to something that is wrong. Aggression is a harmful response to anger, lashing out in revenge and radical, sometimes escalating into verbal or physical abuse. So here's the difference. So don't let nobody tell you can't be angry. You can. You can stand up for what you believe in, for what is right. They don't want you standing up for nothing. Anger ventures have a pattern of heated verbal rates that might also involve physical action, such as throwing objects or pounding a wall. Once started, these rats doesn't seem to diminish. Gathering streams until other people in the dignity becomes alarm or fright. Even harmless incidents can set off a venture who is rolling inside like a volcano with the ongoing pressure of life. With those pressures or triggers, out spews castic traded. So that's how you know somebody get to pound and punching walls and tearing up stuff and going on and want to set the house on fire and going on. Call 911 and the fire department, get them out of there. Take them on to a mental institution somewhere, because they got a problem. While many of us subscribe to this kind of venting on rare occasion, anger become a venting default setting with his or her internal filter, always viewing life as an unfair, unreasonable, or unjust. When enraged, this person feels vindicated, powerful, and in control. She will or he will angrily demand restitution from just about anyone, including those closest to her, to him. In the rush of adrenaline, the venator may feel empowered and energized, which can become addictive. Treating others as verbal punching bags is a classic sign of toxic behavior. In other words, want to fight, want to punch and going on. You didn't punch it when you first got with me, and you ain't going to have to punch me to leave. See, this is abuse. This is nothing but abuse. See, and how can you love a person like this? Baby, I didn't feel I love with you so hard and fast till your head was spinning. Because this ain't the right type of healthy living that God wants us to have. So the know-it-all. This person believes he is right about everything all the time. It doesn't seem to matter what the topic of the discussion is, how you rate a restaurant, the merits of the movie you just saw, or the news of the day. All of his pronouncements are correct and accurate. There is no room for a different opinion or belief. In addition to the know-it-all being annoying to be around, another oppressive dynamic comes into play. If this person is always right, when you must be wrong, then you must be wrong. All right? When people are entitled to their own opinion and free to express them, healthy relationships allow for two people to be respected and affirmed, regardless of different viewpoints. The know-it-all, however, feels in competition with others. I always need to win. A sibling who one-ups in another sibling, a parent who competes with a child, a supervisor who targets an employee. For some reason, competitiveness is triggered in the relationship when the know-it-all feels threatened by the other person, which is so sad. Constantly interacting with someone who must always be right is extremely frustrating. All right. If there's a difference of opinion and you're proven right, this person will shrug off the situation as if it's not really important. However, if you're proven wrong, you hear about it often because of the difficulty of dealing with someone who is always right. You may disregard your own decisions and give in to whatever the other person wants. Hi, Glenda. And when that happens, you open yourself up to mistreatment. We're talking about, Glenda, glad to have y'all on Lisa Live Ministry, how to deal with toxic people. That's what we're talking about, how to deal with toxic people. There's so much of toxicity going on in the world we're living in now. And we set our own selves up to be mistreated. So the Apostle Paul has something to say to know-it-all types. Do not think of yourself more highly than you ought to, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has disturbed to each of you. Romans chapter 12 and 3. All right. The intimidator. We're going to talk about the intimidator. Glenda, I'm going to go back just a little bit and tell you what I've been talking about. We've been talking about the many types of toxic people. And we talked about the deceiver. We talked about the control freak. We talked about the gas lighter. And we talked about the angry venter. And we talked about the know-it-all. And now we're going to talk about the intimidator. So the intimidator says, get that report in today, or you might be unemployed. If you don't play the game our way, you can just go away. If you don't do what I want you, then I leave. The intimidator, what the intimidator does is assert control by issuing threats. This person is like that schoolyard bully who shoves a smaller kid against the wall and demands lunch money, or else. Sometimes the threat are issued at the top of their lungs, and other things they are conveyed through a whisper or a look. Rather blunt or veiled, the threat is understood. This is the type of person the psalmist spoke of. His mouth is full of lies and threats. Trouble and evil are under his tongue. Psalms chapter 10 and 7. A person who threatens another always creates a toxic environment. You know, it's sad when people feel like they got to threat you, be a threat to you in order to try to make you act like a child to do what they want you to do. It's sad when somebody try to bully you that way. And you're married to them. It's a spouse or somebody, in a relationship or just a friend or family, somebody, whomsoever. Nobody should try to bully nobody and tell people, you do it this way. Now, in other words, intimidate people. You shouldn't intimidate nobody. They do it if they want to do it. And if they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. So these are two main types of intimidators. The first is all bark and no bite. They deliver a down proclamation of what they're going to do, but never get around to doing them. A classic example is the parent who says, I'm going to count to 3. And this is followed by I mean it. You've got till the count of 3. And this become a type of game with the child refusing to obey just to see how long it's going to take you to push the parent over the edge. The other type of intimidator means word he says and back them up with actions. These are the type of people often feared. Whether impressed up front or arrive at our frustration, the consequences the intimidator meets out are always more severe than the situation warrants. This, in turn, breeds resentment, bitterness, and anger. Lord Jesus, let me see, because this is long, so I'm going to have to stop somewhere. All right. This says the egotistic. The ego, people that got a big ego. So the egotist, the ego. People that got such of they high on the ego. They high on their horse on the ego. All right. So it's the egotistic, the ego. The motto from this person is all about me. Egotists have an insatiable desire to demonstrate their own self-importance and enlist others to boast their self-esteem. With no need for humility, these people are most often described as prideful, ignorant, boastful, and conceited. Being self-centered is generally agreed to be an off-putting quality by these people don't really care because they are well self-centered. Simply put, the egotistic need to look good, feel superior to others, and feed off of others' validation. If you're in a relationship with such a person, you have no trouble recognizing the signs of self-centeredness, including these. The egotist hogs the spotlight. In theater, it's called upstaging. That's when an actor chooses his position or purposely obscures someone else from the audience. In a crowded room, the self-absorbed person will somehow always be the center of attention, sure to be seen and heard as many others as possible. He will always adopt a posture of denouncing never difference. So, in other words, someone that always want to be the show. All right. Self-absorbed people are unable to go very long without directing the conversation toward their favorite subject, themselves. Reveal that you have just returned from a vacation in France, and she tell you all the reasons she hated it there or loved it without any apparent courtesy about your experience or opinion. Mention sports, and you'll learn that he was once roommates with Peyton, whoever, the Manning cousin, or that he could have played a college ball himself, if not that injury or whatever. These are people that's got a big ego. They may know while you talk, but they are waiting for the moment to jump in and start bragging again. So these are people that, okay. So the ego disregards the needs of others. Top priorities are the egoist's need, desires, and goals, not yours. And this person will take advantage of you for the sake of their own agenda. So don't let nobody take advantage of you with their high ego selves. You know, it ain't about all that. A boss will ask you to work all weekend, knowing full well that you had other plans. A spouse will expect you to shoulder a appropriate share of household chores so he can pursue his hobbies. A dating partner will make all the decisions without asking your opinion. Despite the egoist's lip service about caring and concern, you don't really matter to them. All right? I'm going to read one more and then I'm going to go. And this talks about the drama queen. The drama queen of Christ, or the crisis king. So it's called the drama queen or the crisis king. See if this sounds familiar. Someone phones you and begin breathlessly blurring out the latest dramatic details from his or her life with all the urgency of a 9/11 call. That's been a nasty argument with the parents. A row with the roommate, a blow up with the boss. The particular of this latest crisis, de jure, aren't really the point. It's another really big problem, a fume and fuss about another calamity to fret over. It's all too much. The person is claiming, I can't take much more of this. My life is crashing down around me, and I'm on the verge of total meltdown. Again, just like last week. So get someone like that in your life, someone who turns the most mundane situation to a mundane situation into a mayhem, someone whose daily existence is one of heaven or explosion or emotional outbursts after another, someone with whom you spend a lot of time listening to their side of endless drama and have the feeling it might be dangerous, often a dissenting opinion, call them drama queen or crisis king, and call them a real challenge to deal with. They derive a sense of power from being at the center of an immense storm and frequently wipes one up when things get too quiet. They are known to orchestrate conflicts between people, including you, or desert themselves into a ready-made one. Some people just like a lot of drama. Then you got the put-down orders. This is the last one for this evening. The put-down orders. You have heard the adage, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's too bad that kids grow up repeating that phrase because it's completely untrue. Words can be incredibly hurtful, as you know if you have spent much time around a put-down artist. These type of people can be heard saying things like, wife to husband. If you were half the business man my dad is, we wouldn't be in this financial mess. Number one, you don't have no business comparing your husband to your daddy. And because he ain't your daddy. He didn't have you. All right? He's not there to console you as a father. He's there to be your husband. And matter of fact, you're not supposed to even treat him like your dad. And not try to make him look like your dad either. Teacher to student. I had your sister in my class last year. Too bad you're nothing like her. Well, no matter how many kids you have, they're not going to be the same. They are different. They're their own different personalities. Their own different spirits. You know, they're different. Mother-in-law to daughter-in-law. Jim dated some very smart girls before you, and I'm not sure how you two ended up together. Sibling to sibling. It's no wonder you didn't make the team. They only wanted people with talent. So, you know, it's a lot of stuff that is cutthroat stuff that we don't need to say. You know, a put-down artist uses words and not of voices to degrade the value of another person. They seek to bring themselves up by pushing others down. The worse the put-down artist feel about him or herself, the worse the verbal put-down become. So the one given the insults gets an ego boost, while the reception gets dropped down to a notch or two. Sometimes a put-down artist use biting humor to deliver harsh words, but rude comments couched as jokes have the same effect. They hurt. Humor can be especially clever tactic because the offending of individuals step down responsibility by saying, it's just a joke. Don't be so sensitive. Being considerate or mean-spirit helps. No matter how well discussed, still leave you feeling diminished and, feeling bad. So people who use words to demean others should take guidance from Scripture. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Ephesians 4:29. And we're going to stop right there. When I get back on, we're going to be talking about the moral authority. So this book is teaching all of us about toxic people, about how things can be so toxic. All right. I bought it. I wanted to learn myself from it. And so I decided to share it right here on Lisa Live Ministry. All right. So what I'm about to say is this before I get off, because I had a phone call. I want to say that encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. Know who you are. To me, I feel like it goes back to knowing your own identity. I feel like it goes back to knowing who you are. You cannot allow anyone to strip you down, to strip you naked, to strip your mind, to strip your soul, and to strip your spirit. I don't care. People are going to always say things to try to diminish you. But don't allow people to diminish you. Once you find, and I really believe that's what it is. Once you find out who you are unstoppable. You are unmovable. But you've got to find out who you are. It's not about your complexion, your size, your hair, the texture of your skin. It's not about all that, y'all. It's a mind frame. It's your mind. It's not about how smart you are, or how you might not be as smart as some people, but you can learn. But it's a mind. It's your mind. Because if you let anybody, everybody, anything get in your mind, they will try to corrupt your mind. You know, if you always try to make somebody else happy, when will you be happy? If you always try to make somebody else happy, Always trying to satisfy somebody else. Always building up somebody else. Taking care of somebody else. Helping somebody else. Encouraging somebody else. When will you be encouraged? When will you be helped? Who are going to help you and take care of you? If you're loving somebody else all the time, when are you going to get loved? And it's not a selfish act that I'm saying. But this is a selfless act that I'm saying. And all I'm saying, you got to learn to take care of yourself. Because these people, these toxic people, they will do you in and blow you out and run over you and go about their business and leave you like a sack of potato or a bag of bones. And I'm being real about that. So learn to love yourself enough to take care of yourself. Treat yourself right. You have to learn to treat yourself right anyway before you'll be able to treat somebody else right. You know, we give too much. We give too much and get so little back in return. I'm going to say it again as I'm getting ready to log off. We give too much. We give too much to the wrong type of people and get so little back in return. And that needs to be an eye-opener and a wake-up call. And don't let nobody bully you. It don't take all that. Don't let nobody bully you. I don't care who it is. And don't sit up and say, you know, I used to listen to what my mama said. That's still with me. I got to stay here, Lisa, until I can do better. And I would listen to her say that. And do better. Never came. Do better never came. But she left this earth because she was stressed, worried, worn out, no energy, sick, taking bags and bags of pills, nerves bad, all of that. And before she got in a toxic marriage, it was nothing like that. So when you see people are toxic, don't let them stress you out, worry you, hair falling out, gray everywhere. These people are toxic. You deserve better, much better than that, much better. And you ain't got to run out here and be running around and fooling around with everybody. Learn to have self-care, self-worth, self-control, self-mind, self-heart. Take care of yourself. Sometimes you might need to just go and get a massage. Go take you a good shower. You know, go out and catch some fresh air. Go to the park and sit alone. Do you, boo. Do you. Enjoy you. Because there's only one of you.